What is going on, Hyperdrivers? Today, as you can see, I'm rocking yellow, the only real yellow shirt that I own, and that's because I got something super awesome to unbox. And for those of you guys who have already read the title, you know exactly what you've gotten yourself in for. But for those of you guys who haven't, I'm unboxing the highly anticipated Commander Cody Helmet by Hasbro. Now, this is the latest Black Series helmet that they've released. And I was not expecting this one to arrive until sometime next year, like in the middle of the first quarter, I think is what it was. But by some Thanksgiving miracle, Amazon shipped my package early and it arrived today, right at the tail end of Black Friday weekend on Cyber Monday, which is awesome. I can't believe that this thing arrived this early. I've been looking forward to this. So in this video, we're gonna unbox it. I'm gonna show you guys all the things that it comes with, what it can do, the sizing. We're gonna try it on, and I'll tell you my honest opinion about what I think about this helmet. And I'm gonna compare it to its brother over here, the Disney 212th Clone Battalion Trooper that came out on May 4th. So let's get to it. But before I crack this box open, here on the Hyperdrive, we unbox all kinds of cool Star Wars collectibles of all prices and ranges. So if you like to see helmet unboxings, lightsabers, statue unboxings, action figure unboxings, I do all of that here on this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of my content. So like I said, this is one that I didn't expect to get here until sometime next year. So when I saw that my package was arriving today, I was like, whoa. That's pretty dope. And with Hasbro, you never really know which is the company that's gonna ship it to you first. I've ordered it directly through Hasbro. I've ordered it from Target, Big Bad Toy Store, from Amazon. And it seems to me that Amazon is the one that I got the best luck with. Seems like I get them usually pretty fast, usually first. And that's who I tend to stick with. So if you guys want to get this one, it's still available at Amazon right now. I left a link in the description below for you to get it. And it runs only $109.99. That is pretty nice for a life-size helmet with the details that Black Series delivers on these things. It's pretty incredible, especially when you consider that the Disney one that we're going to compare this one to, the 212th Battalion, that has less going on with it, I think, than this one, just from the mere picture of it. That one's $119, all right? And then you have the Captain Rex helmet that Hasbro put out a few years back. That one's $139. So this is $30 cheaper than a Captain Rex helmet. That's not bad at all right? Anyway, let's get to this because this is what we're here for. Let's take a look at this box. So you got to give Hasbro credit for these box designs. I really love the designs of their Black Series boxes. You got this half cut right here, which looks super cool, in the graphic of Commander Cody receiving his Order 66 orders from Emperor Palpatine. So that's really cool. But really what I'm most impressed with is the size of the box. You know, when I first got this today on my doorstep, I had to question if this was my order or not. It's because it just didn't look like it was big enough to house a life-size helmet. I mean, take a look at the size of this box, okay? And then here is the Disney one. And you can see that the Disney one is quite a bit bigger than the Commander Cody. So definitely has some size to it in comparison to that. But like I said, here's the box design. You can see that you have an image of Commander Cody's helmet from the side. It says Star Wars Black Series there, right there. You got another image of Commander Cody's helmet from a 3/4 angle. This runs on 3 AAA batteries that we're gonna need, and it does voice changing, according to what it says on the box. You got a view of it from the front as well as some graphics on the side right there, which looks super cool. And then you have the helmet again right there. All right, let's check out what this dome looks like. This is so cool. This is pretty neat. Comes with this. So this little antenna clicks in on the side here. Got a little piece right there where it goes into. And it just goes in like that. That's it. Now to install the batteries. Where do those go? There it goes. So that pops out. And your little Phillips screwdriver right there to take out the battery case. All right, so the batteries are installed and we got Commander Cody's helmet, and this thing looks pretty good. I really love the sculpt of it. Cody's helmet is one of those designs of the Clone Troopers that is unique. I just like, this one, just like as much as I like the Captain Rex or the Neo helmet, they just have a very cool design to them and it's different from your regular Clone Trooper. So I love how this came out. You got very nice sculpt going on. I like how you have this antenna here, which is nice. It's got kind of like a silver color going on. You got another antenna going on here, and it's got this goldish or bronze tip. So that's a nice detail touch right there. You got the markings over here, just like what you would expect from Commander Cody. And then, of course, you got the visor, and it's got lots of nice detail in the visor as well. Now, something that I noticed with this one that I haven't noticed before on other Clone Trooper helmets, but if you take a look at the top part of the visor, I just accidentally hit the voice changer. If you hit the top part of the visor, you can see that there's these slots. That's not something I've ever noticed before in any of the other Clone Trooper helmets, just above the visor and into where it starts to begin to turn white. That's something different, so I don't know if that's how it's supposed to come or if like maybe the visor is popping back off. But I tried pushing in from the inside here and it doesn't seem like it's popping off. So I don't know. It's not a big deal, but it is something to look at. Now, as far as the paint goes, I think they got the basic colors down for Cody. It definitely looks like his colorways. So I think that came out very nice. And you got some weathering, some scoring going on the helmet, lots of smudges and oil spills on the helmet, which looks pretty cool. I do feel though that if you have this level of dirt, going on it and grime, that the helmet itself wouldn't be as shiny as it is. You can see that it picks up a lot of the light, a lot of the gloss comes in, even on those dirty areas, which is strange. I think it should be much dirtier, to go along with the look of the battle worn details that are on this helmet. So that's something that I feel like I wish they could improve on. And you could improve on it. Like if you wanted to repaint this helmet and make it look, 100 times better, you could. You could make this thing look way better. Obviously, this is mass produced. So on the inside of the helmet, you can see that it has some detail going on. You have like these like padded areas and texture going on the inside of the helmet to give it that more realistic look, or I don't want to say realistic, but like in movie look. That's what you'd expect the helmet to kind of look like on the inside. So that's nice. I like how that came out. Now the dome itself, let me see what the space there. So you got an idea of, keep hitting that button. Let's put it this way. See how much space you're going to need. So the opening is about, from here to here, about a little over 8 inches wide. And then you have about almost 9.5 inches from the front to the back. So 8 by 9.5 inches is what you have for space to get your head into the helmet. And you keep hearing me hit the voice changer. This one here comes with the voice changing feature, just like all of the other Clone Trooper helmets. That's something that I kind of wish it didn't have. I wish this would have had like a Commander Cody voice effects, like where you just have a bunch of different, commands or comments that he may have made during the Clone Wars in that Tamora Morrison voice. You just hit and then he automatically makes that sound. We'll test to see if it sounds any better with this one, but so far I haven't really been impressed with any of the voice changing effects of these helmets. So we'll see how that comes out. But let's try this on, see how it looks, and we'll try out the voice changer. All right, so I got my mic out so that way we can hear it with the voice changing. Let's see how this looks. Oh. So right off the bat, it fits pretty comfortably. There's a like a ring on the inside of the helmet so that it holds around your head, and at least, but from the factory settings that it has right here, it leaves my eyes right at the visor level, so I don't feel like it's too big on my head when I have it on. It is a little bit low on my neck, so you don't have a whole lot of lateral movement with it once you have it on, but I think it fits pretty good. So to activate the voice changing effect, you're going to press this side button right here, and it'll make that sound. And I will say this, it's a lot louder than any of the other helmets that I've ever had with the voice changing feature. So that's pretty cool, you know. They definitely did improve on the speaker sound. So I think that's pretty neat. But what do you guys think? How do I sound? Do I sound any better? Do I sound different? You know, does it make my voice really sound different wearing it this way? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. I'm curious to hear what it's going to sound like when I listen to it back. But all I can say right now is that at least they improved on the speaker volume. All right. Woo. Whoa. Can't wear that for too long. It's a little bit heavy, and then, you know, it's hard to breathe. Let's get out the 212th helmet and take a look at how it compares to that. All right. Still trying to catch my breath from being under the helmet. Here is the 212th and the Commander Cody. All right, so the very first thing that you're going to notice right off the bat is the yellow on the Disney one is much brighter than the more orangey, bronze yellow, mustard yellow that you have with the Commander Cody helmet. I want to say that this is a more accurate color, in my opinion, than this one, or maybe that is just the way they look. Maybe Commander Cody's helmet is a little bit different color yellow than the 212th, but right there, that is the first major difference that I notice, you know, when you have them displayed side by side. So you can see that. Another thing too is this helmet here, the 212, seems to be a lot smaller, at least in the feeling just by holding it from the top of the dome. The space that you have on the inside to get your head in is 8 inches by almost 10 inches. So the whole opening is almost identical, but the overall feel of the 212th helmet is a little bit smaller. And you can even see just by looking at them side by side that the Cody helmet sits quite a bit higher than your 212th helmet. And if you look at them nose to nose, you notice that the nose section right here, the very top of the chin, I'm sorry, is higher, just a slight bit higher than the 212th helmet. So you have that as well. The visors seem to be close, but you'll notice that on this one, it doesn't have those slots. You see that over here? You don't have those slots that this one has. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever noticed that up here, that you have these slots where the visor locks into place. That's a little bit different, maybe a different build idea with the Commander Cody helmet. The other thing too is I do like the weathering a little bit more on the 212th. I like that it's got this like yellowing effect here on the sides of the helmet. And I like how that came out, and you have a lot more of this black dirt all over the place, whereas the Cody over here just seems like it has some oil smudges, you know, around the helmet, versus this one here that looks like it's been through a little bit more. Plus you could see that the yellow even has scratches and scores into it, taken away from that yellow stripe. This one right here doesn't seem to have anything taken away from the colors, even though it's been probably in the same amount of battles as this guy. All right, the side area here, this black section, has some weathering details that they put into it to make it look like the black is coming off, and you can see like the metal beneath the paint. The Cody doesn't have any of that. Cody's is a light like gray color, like almost like a purple gray, it seems like, that goes around the top part. So it's just almost a completely different looking Clone Trooper helmet, even without this visor section right here, which I thought was really the only difference between it and the 212th, or it and any of the other Clone Trooper helmets, was these visors that gave it that different appearance. But you can see that it even has these extra bands here at the very top of the helmet, which I like. I like that. That is cool. But yeah, so you have that. And then I don't have any batteries in this one anymore, but it does have the same voice changing effect. But I know for a fact that this was definitely not as loud as this one. This one was much more impressive as far as the audible sound that I was hearing from the voice changer. So that's some major differences right there. You can see on the back right there, look at the difference in this circle area so much bigger it is on the Hasbro versus the Disney. The Disney is smaller, you know. And then the way the Disney is installed, it separates so that you can get your head in there if your head's a little bit bigger, and then it closes back into place. I like that feature in my opinion versus just having a big helmet, you know. So you have that too. And that's the major differences between the two helmets. And that, my friends, as they say, is that. I think this is a really nice helmet, especially for $109. I mean, it's awesome. You can't beat that these days from Hasbro. They really deliver a nice looking helmet for a relatively affordable price for collectors. And it's just a really nice addition to have in the collection for any Star Wars fan. This is the guy that we almost symbolize Order 66 with from that scene in Revenge of the Sith. So it's a really nice helmet to have just for the history of Star Wars, in my opinion. To have as part of the collection, especially if you're a big fan of the Clone Troopers and a big fan of the prequels and the Clone Wars. Commander Cody is a must-have. My critiques on the paint are mine. You know, that's my thoughts on it. You know, I feel like you could improve on it a little bit more if you have the know-how. Maybe weather it up a little bit more and make it even nicer. But I think it's a great starting point. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. And until next time, may the Force be with you.